Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about loneliness in self-improvement. I think it's very underexplored. Nobody really talks about it. They might show the transformation. For example, the gym progress, the early morning wake-ups, the productive routines. I guess the glow-ups, you could say, or the results. They show the before and the after, but they never really show the in-between. And the part where you're not who you used to be, but you're not fully who you are becoming yet either. And that phase can be really quiet, because self-improvement feels very exciting at first. You decide you're done settling, you're done being average, you're done repeating the same cycles, whatever your goal is. Maybe you start waking up earlier, you start thinking differently, you question things more. And at first it feels good, but then something very subtle starts to happen. Conversations that used to entertain you start feeling empty. Jokes that used to be funny start feeling repetitive. Environments that once felt normal start feeling draining. And it's not that you hate people. I don't want you to look at it like that. It's just you shifted internally. And when you shift internally, your tolerance changes, your standards change, your interests change. And that creates space between you and your old habits, space between you and certain people, or you and your old identity. And that space can feel really lonely. But I think there's a part that nobody really warns you about. When you glow up internally, say, your environment doesn't automatically update with you. Your friends might still move the same way, or think the same way, still value the same thing. And you're stuck in this strange middle ground. You're either too self-aware to go back, or not established enough to fully move forward. So that kind of makes you feel separated. Not necessarily physically alone because you're by people, but mentally distant. You're in rooms, but you don't feel fully there. That's the best way I can put it. You're part of conversations, but you're holding back. You start spending more time alone. Again, not because you hate people, but because you start trying to figure out who you are now. And that process can be very uncomfortable, because humans are wired for belonging, and growth temporarily disrupts that belonging. And this is kind of when doubt likes to creep in. You start asking yourself the hard questions. Am I becoming too serious? Am I isolating myself? Am I losing connections? Is everything I'm doing worth it? Because growth isn't just building habits. It's shedding identities. It's letting go of the version of you that fit in so easily. It's choosing discipline over comfort, standards over convenience, future over familiarity. And I guess shedding feelings like loss, even when it's necessary, can make growth feel really heavy, because you're grieving parts of yourself while still building new ones at the same time. And that transition kind of, again, sparks loneliness in you. But here's what I did, or I had to do to understand. Loneliness during growth isn't, or shouldn't be looked at as punishment. If anything, it's alignment or discipline. You can't expect your old environment to perfectly match your new mindset overnight. There will always be a gap between who you were and who you're becoming. And that can be uncertain, or uncomfortable, or make you question everything. But I promise you the gaps are temporary, especially if you stay consistent. Most people quit. They go back to the old habits because at least those habits are easy. But being easy isn't always healthy. Sometimes it's just comfortable. But that lonely phase I keep bringing up is refining you. It's testing your standards. It's asking, are you improving for validation, or are you improving because you mean it? Because it's easy to, I guess, level up when everyone else is cheering for you, but it's harder when nobody else understands what you're building towards or sees the internal shift. And that's when your identity solidifies. That's when the discipline becomes real. That's when you stop performing growth and actually live it. Every single level requires separation. You can't evolve and expect everything to stay the same. New mindsets, new boundaries, new habits, that automatically changes your dynamic. Not everyone is meant to come with you to every stage of your life. That doesn't make them bad, it just means the alignment has shifted now. And that the people meant for your next level, they'll meet you there. But first, you have to survive the transition. And if you're in that phase now, the lonely, misunderstood phase, don't panic. It's not the end of the world. You're not broken. You're not losing everyone. You're not losing who you are. You're just losing the alignment. And alignment matters more than the temporary comfort that you feel right now. Because this phase won't last forever. And it will not define who you are as a person, because this is where you decide if growth was real or just a phase. So keep working at it. Keep refining those minor details. Keep choosing the harder option when it aligns with your future. And it isn't comfortable. The loneliness won't always feel loud or obnoxious. But one day you'll look around and you'll realize you're surrounded by people who match your mindset and your standards and your direction. But that only happens if you don't fold in the middle. Growth isn't flashy. Sometimes it's just quiet consistency in an empty room. And that room, it's shaping you. I think that's all I have for you today. As always, stay rolling.